Yay, all right, so we're going live. Hey guys, happy Friday. Maggie can come in and say hi. Come say hi, Maggie. We're on two things, but look here, look there. Up live here.
Hi,
Maggie, she's the best. She's absolutely the best.
He's my favorite.
All right, she's awesome. Hey guys, welcome to Freedom Friday. So thank you for tuning in. It's a little dark in here. Maggie, if you want to turn the lights up when you go, that would be awesome. We've got a storm that is literally coming in as we speak right up here at the Citrus Club. Good, that's perfect. I like it. Yes, it looks so good. So hey Kimber, hey Hap, hey you guys, happy Friday, Freedom Friday. So, sorry I got off to a little bit of a late start, had some phone calls. I actually worked, I actually got to the club. Hey Kimber, I actually got to the club this morning at 8:50 a.m. If you know me, there's no freedom in that because I usually get to the club at 10 o'clock. So I feel bad for anybody who had to be up there. Hi there, good rainy morning so you guys can hear me and see me. All right, so today's show has everything to do with saying yes. All right, hey John. So we talked a while ago about saying no, and what I found when I did that, hey, what's up, Jim? What I found when I did the no show is that I wasn't super specific about saying no. So before I talk to you about saying yes, let's talk about a little bit why having the freedom to say no doesn't give you the permission to say no to everything and block stuff out of your life. So the whole point of saying no was if you are involved in 12 committees and 45 charities, or you're taking on more work, more responsibilities at work, you have the authority, you have the freedom to say no. But that should not give you the permission to say no to everything because you're cutting stuff out of your life that could be something new, could be a change for you. And so people were coming up to me after that show, Ted, I love that show, saying no, best thing ever. I've said no to like 5 things. And so when I asked them about what they were saying no to, it dawned on me that they were taking it to a whole nother level. So you don't want to say no to everything because then you'll never experience anything new. So you have to find a nice balance. Look, I'm not perfect at the balance, but you can't just go all the way to one side of saying no without saying yes. And that's the show today. Stop swimming with drowning people, I think is what the show is about. Stop taking swimming lessons from drowning people. You have the power, the freedom to say yes. And what does that mean? So here's the deal. Those same people that said no, they missed out on so many opportunities. Why? Because they had all the naysayers around them, right? So no is very easy to get into. It's very easy to fall into that path, that pattern. You say no. You say no all the time. Why? Because you're surrounded by people that say no. They're negative, negative, negative. We've talked about this 1,000 times. Toxicity. You want to get it out of your house. But there's this whole movement called saying yes. There's a whole book and a whole movement of about 30 days of saying yes. And so you want to be able to say yes. Why wouldn't you want to say yes? So let's talk about the balance, the other side of saying yes. So if you're taking swimming lessons from drowning people, what's happening? You're following a crowd that is already drowning. So if you're taking financial advice from someone, if you're taking networking advice from someone, if you're taking job advice from someone, relationship advice from someone, look at where they're at. So for example, somebody came to me and said, I'd love to do your social media, Ted. You've got a great platform. You've got 6 different platforms. You're amazing. Love the show. And I have 10 times more followers than they do. Why would I engage that person? Why would I allow them to come into my world? That doesn't mean they're a bad person. By not taking swimming lessons with drowning people, it doesn't mean the drowning people are bad people. It just means they're not good for you and what you're trying to accomplish and what you're trying to do. So I want to encourage you to say yes to some things. So if you've been surrounded by people who are saying, don't go to that networking event, don't join the club, don't go to the gym, come out with me on a Friday night and Saturday night, and you end up on Sunday morning thinking, where did my weekend go? What did I do? Where did my week go? What did I accomplish? I spent 95 hours on Netflix, nothing against Netflix. I've done the exact same thing 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, months. It becomes years at some point in a row, and I'm not saying yes to anything new. Yes, Wagner. Hey, Wagner. It is a good topic for a rainy day. So I want to encourage you to say yes, but I want to put some caveats on it just so we don't swing the pendulum too far. Thanks, Eleanor. I love you. So here's the deal. You want to say yes when it makes sense to say yes. You have to figure out the discernment for you, what it takes for you internally. So if all your words are no, let's take baby steps. Say yes to an event that you normally wouldn't have said yes to. Yes, totally, Jeff. Keep away from people who try to belittle you. Small people do that. That's true, and there's more of it, Jeff, but I can't read it. So say yes to an event. Say yes to a lunch or a coffee. I have people on LinkedIn. What's the point of LinkedIn? Let's talk about social media for a minute. LinkedIn is to connect people who you want to do business with. It's definitely the more business-oriented at this point social media platform that we have, right? Definitely very business-oriented. So when people, they actually asked me to connect, and then I say, well, let's get together for coffee, and they have the audacity to say, why would we get together for coffee? It looks like we have nothing in common. So I message them back and say, okay, so you're a LinkedIn collector, kind of like a bone collector, a body collector. I don't know what they are. But that's not the kind of person you want to be around. Why? If you're just using LinkedIn to connect with people and you want to see a big number up there, you've got a lot of issues. You've got some Napoleon complex stuff going on. It's ridiculous. You want to use those platforms to say yes. Why else are you engaging with people? You want to be able to meet new people. Isn't that the point of all networking? Isn't that the point of our relationships? Building our circle, building what we do, growing, doing more good things, more positive things in our lives. So I want to encourage you to say yes to a few things. So I'm going to give you some examples. I want you to look at a networking event that is next week or the week after. Hey, what's up, Rebecca? I want you to say yes to it. I don't care if it's the ladies who have tea on Tuesday. Trust me, there's more in that teacup than just tea. I don't care if it's a county away from you. If it looks interesting to you, if it's outside your 9 dots, if someone took the time to invite you to it, go to it. Say yes to it. Say yes to more things. Find the balance that takes you out of your comfort zone. Yes, and it stretches you, and that's so important, Kimber, because you will never grow as a person, professionally, personally. Nothing will happen with you if you don't step outside of that comfort zone. And saying yes, because we've been taught to say no, saying yes to things that are outside of your comfort zone will help you grow. So say yes to a networking event in the upcoming 2 weeks. Say yes to a connection on Facebook, once you've vetted them, and LinkedIn, and invite them out. Invite them to coffee. Make it a public place if you don't know them that well. Make it a public place anyway. Find out what they have to offer, because the last thing you want to do is not allow that connection to happen, and then you have missed out on the opportunity of a lifetime. You know that old saying, I hate old sayings, but you can't judge a book by its cover. You can't judge a book by its cover, because that person behind you, that person you're meeting with, it may look like they only have 500 friends or 1,000 friends or 1,000 connections, or they could have 20 connections. What if one of those connections is so powerful that it changes your life and the trajectory of your life? So I want you to know you have the freedom to say yes. We want to say yes more. So what are the 2 things that I'd love for you to do? Starting, I've got one more. I want you to go to a networking event, go to some event, go to a political hobnob, do anything that you are not used to doing as part of your regular week, and go to it. Just go to it. Nobody says you have to love it, but I want you to go to it and experience it. I want you to say yes to it. And then I want you to say yes to a meeting with a connection you've made, a new connection on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, I don't care, whatever, Pinterest. Something that piques your interest, something, if somebody's reached out to you, somebody that you'd like to meet. If you're not utilizing your database to meet new people, what is the point of your database? I don't understand that. So listen, I'm not condemning you, because I'm guilty of it sometimes too. I've got 10,000 people on LinkedIn. I don't know all of them, but I'd love to meet every single one of them if I had time. I've got 118 people, wonderful people watching me on Up Live right now. I'd love to meet every single one of them. So take one that interests you. What if you love art, but you're a real estate agent, for example, and some art curator, somebody who lists art as one of their hobbies on LinkedIn or Facebook, is in your circle? Why wouldn't you reach out to them? How do you know that that won't change your life? So say yes to that. And then I want you to say yes to engaging your tighter circle. So what does that mean? You have this tight circle. We all do. Some are bigger than others. Tight for you doesn't mean tight for me, but tight for you. You've got this tight circle. How many times, what's the last time that you've engaged them on a level that is more meaningful than hello, let's watch Netflix, let's have a cocktail Friday and Saturday night? When have you actually sat down with them and said yes to trying to build the relationship to a deeper level? It's not for a selfish reason. It's not just to get business. It's not just to get something from them, or for them to get something from you. Hey, Candace, it's so that you can say yes and get outside of your comfort zone. Our biggest resource that we never touch is our own contacts, our own close contacts. And we're taught it over and over and over again. Utilize your contacts, use your database. Okay, but don't just use it in a way that is boring and MailChimp, nothing against MailChimp, or very impersonal. Use it in a way where you set up coffee. Go to a place that's different. Say yes to meeting, look, I'm guilty of this, outside the club, for example. Go to a Panera or a Starbucks on the other side of town to meet another person. They're in your circle already. You know them. Why would you not want to get more in-depth and say yes? So I want to encourage you guys to tell you, stop swimming, take swimming lessons with drowning people. They are not the people that you want to surround yourselves with. It's not your duty to save them either. You have the freedom to say yes, which may get you out of the pool and into a completely different pool or sandbox, but it will get you out. And the more that you say yes, and the more that you get the discernment to know the difference, go to Red Lobster, dear God, Eleonora, we had a laugh about that. The more that you get the discernment to have the balance to say no and say yes, the more amazing, more enriched relationships you're going to have. The better your relationships personally and professionally are going to be. So just say yes and stop taking swimming lessons with drowning people. You know I love you guys. Happy Freedom Friday. Happy Friday, July 20th. I love you. If you have questions, if you have an event, really quick before I sign off, you have an event that you don't know about, there's somebody in my circle that you don't know and you want to meet, reach out to me. I'm a resource. Let me be your resource. Let me help you so that you can learn how to say more yeses instead of always saying no. All right. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. See you on Monday. All right. Thanks.